Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the final video of the day and what should be a pretty long video, as they always are. My NFL Week number 6 reactions. In today's video, of course, the final one of the day. We are going to be reacting to the NFL games that have been played this weekend, talk about a lot of them, obviously give our thoughts on them, and a little bit more here on the channel as well. However, if you guys are new to the channel, you already know what to do. Leave a like, subscribe, turn that bell on. We do our best to post on this channel every single day. With that being said, we got a lot to go ahead and get into, so let's go ahead and react to week number 6 in the NFL. Alright, kicking us off on Thursday Night Football, we had the Seahawks hosting the 49ers and losing this matchup to San Fran. Now, Geno Smith was 30 of 52, 312 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. Was not able to watch this game, but I was able to keep a little bit of score with it. Now, Kenneth Walker did have a touchdown, led the team in rushing for once. 32 yards on the day for him and 14 carries. Tyler Lockett had a touchdown, led the team in receiving with 65 yards. However, when it comes down to it, DK Metcalf did not get involved. He had 48 yards, and Geno Smith did not get the ball to his wide receivers or Noah Fant at all, and that is what ultimately cost him this game, as Jason Myers also kicked 6 points in this matchup as well. Now, taking a look at the 49ers side of things, Brock Purdy didn't play terrible. 18 of 28, 255 yards, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. A really solid day throwing the Brock for the Brock Purdy and the former Mr. Irrelevant as well. He is very much relevant now as he beats the Seattle Seahawks. Kyle Juszczyk had the 1 rushing touchdown on the day. However, it was Isaac Garnero who had 99 yards, leading the team in rushing in that average as well. Deebo Samuel had 102 receptions or yards per 30 receptions, leading the team in receiving with 1 touchdown as well. And George Kittle also had 2 touchdowns on the day with 58 yards as well for him. And then the kicker, Matthew Wright, kicking 12 of the points for the injured Jake Moody, who did get injured in this game. However, when it comes down to it, 49ers were the better team and got the job done on the road in Seattle. Up next, we had a London game kicking us off in London on Sunday morning. It was the Jags going into the Chicago Bears. Well, I guess technically going into, but they are in London, so it is what it is. Jags also have to stay another week in London. I think the NFL just sent them there to kind of just say, we don't want you anymore. But that is kind of the case for them, as T-Law was 23 of 35, 204 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception on the day. Mac Jones came in, was 1 for 1 in his passing attempts on the day, as well as Dearness Johnson led the team in rushing with 28 carries. Tank Bigsby also 24 carries, got the rock a little bit as well. Travis Etienne, negative 1 yard on the day for him. Evan Ingram led the team in receiving with 102 yards on the day, 0 touchdowns. However, it was Gabe Davis that did score the 2 receiving touchdowns for the Jacksonville Jaguars as well, as Tank Bigsby also had 102 yards on kick returns. We'll add that one in there for the former Auburn man, War Damn Eagle, on that one. Cam Little also kicking 4 of those points, as that is where the full 16 points for the Jacksonville Jaguars came. Now, on the Bears side of things, Caleb Williams looks like an absolute freak show right now. 23 of 29, 226 yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception. Kind of hard for the Bears to mess that one up on the way that he came in there. Bright coaching, definitely getting some developed, as you can see with Matt Eberflus there on that one as well. DeAndre Swift, 91 yards on the day, 1 touchdown as well, led the team in rushing. Cole Kmet with 2 touchdowns. Keenan Allen also had 2 touchdowns on the day, as they both got 70 yards and 41 yards receiving respectively as well for them. And then Cario Santos, I believe, the kicker, kicking 5 of those 35 points as well. So, Bears get a very much needed win here and improve their record to 4-2 with Caleb Williams in that era. Moving on, let's start out the day on Sunday with the 12 o'clock games here. The Saints hosting Tampa, in an NFC South rivalry matchup, and the Saints got absolutely belittled here. Spencer Rattler was 22 of 40, 243 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. Did struggle a little bit, but ultimately it was not enough, and they did not get the job done at home as well. However, Kamara had 40 yards rushing with 1 touchdown on the day as well. And it was Bub Means who caught 1 touchdown for the New Orleans Saints too, with the kicker Blake Grupe kicking 9 of those points as well. Let's look at the Bucs side of things, where Baker Mayfield was 24 of 36, 325 yards, 4 touchdowns on the day, 3 interceptions. 3 interceptions obviously did not matter, as Sean Tucker, Bucky Ivering also rushed for a touchdown as well, with Chris Godwin leading the team in receiving with 125 yards through 11 receptions. 2 touchdowns on the day for him, and Sean Tucker also catching a touchdown, with Cade Otton catching a touchdown as well for them. And then the kicker, Chase McClung, kicking 9 of those points. An absolute dog of a showing for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and show why they're the #1 team in the NFC South right now. Up next, you had the thriller in the 12 o'clock window here. The Washington Commanders going into the Baltimore Ravens in this matchup. Jaden Daniels was 24 of 35, 269 yards, 2 touchdowns on the day, 0 interceptions for them. Also had 22 yards rushing, led the team in rushing as well. Ultimately, it was not enough, though. The 2 touchdowns from Terry McLaurin also helped them, but still was not enough, and the kicker kicked 11 points as well. Looking at the Ravens side of things, Lamar Jackson, 20 of 26, an absolute dog, 323 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception on the day. Derrick Henry led the team in rushing, as always, 24 of 132, 2 touchdowns on the day as well. Mark Andrews catching a touchdown receiving. However, it was Zay Flowers leading the team with yards, with 132 receiving yards as well. And then the kicker, Justin Tucker, being an absolute dog and kicking 12 of those points, as the Baltimore Ravens get a very close matchup win against the Washington Commanders to improve to 4-2 on the year. Alright, next game up is the Cardinals going into the Packers here. Kyler Murray, 22 of 32, 214 yards, 1 touchdown, not a bad day for him. Very solid performance out of the quarterback. However, it was not enough, as they do fall to the Green Bay Packers, with, of course, the kicker kicking 7 of those points as well. Jordan Love, on the other hand, for the Green Bay Packers, 22 of 32, 258 yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception on the day for him, with Josh Jacobs leading the way with 62 rushing yards as well. Christian Watson having a touchdown in the day, Romeo Doubs had a touchdown, and of course Jalen Reed also had a touchdown as well. However, it was Christian Watson that led the way with 68 yards receiving as well. And then Braden Narvison, I believe is how you say that kicker's name, with 10 of those points, as the Green Bay Packers are on a roll right now and 4-2 on the year as well. Alright, next game you have was, of course, the Indianapolis Colts beating the Tennessee Titans. Let's start with the Titans side of things. Will Levis, 16 of 27, 95 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. A very struggling day for the second-year quarterback in the NFL as well. Tony Pollard had 1 rushing touchdown on the day and led the team in rushing with 93 yards, as Nick West Icon, I believe is how you say that name, had 1 touchdown on the day as well, but it was D-Hop that led the team in yards when it comes to receiving, and Nick Folk, kicked 5 of those points as well. Joe Flacco, on the other hand, 22 of 38, 189 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception for him. Tyler Goodson led the team in rushing with 51 yards on the day for the Indianapolis Colts. And then, of course, Josh Downs catching a touchdown, with Michael Pittman also catching 1 touchdown as well. And then Matt Gay kicking 8 of those points, as the Indianapolis Colts get a much-needed win to go back to 500 on the year. Next game up, you had the Houston Texans absolutely demolishing the New England Patriots. However, the one bright spot for the Patriots was the rookie quarterback Drake May, as he was 20 of 33, 243 yards, 3 touchdowns. Did struggle with 2 interceptions, though. However, that 1 touchdown where that Hail Mary had happened was a freaking bomb. Kudos to Drake May on finding that guy as well. Led the team in rushing with 38 yards as well. Douglas got a touchdown. Keyshawn Bottle caught a touchdown, and Hunter Henry also caught a touchdown, as it looks like he was trying to distribute the ball to his playmakers as well. And then Joey Sly only kicking 3 of those points. However, it wasn't very needed. But C.J. Stroud was 20 of 31, 192 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception on the day for him. Joe Mixon rushed for a touchdown, led the team in rushing with 102 yards. And also, Dameon Pierce had a rushing touchdown as well. Stephon Diggs with a touchdown, Tank Dell with a touchdown, and Joe Mixon also catching a touchdown as well. And Stephon Diggs leading the team in receiving with 77 yards as well. And then the kicker, Fairburn, kicking 11 points, being the team's absolute MVP right now this season. Texans win 41-21. Next, you had the Browns going into the Eagles, and what was very interesting things that I saw on Twitter. That is for sure with the Nick Sirianni stuff. I'm not really going to talk about that. I may hit on it a little bit at the end of this game reaction. But let's go ahead and start with the box score. Deshaun Watson, 16 of 23, 168 yards, 0 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Regardless of the noise, he did struggle in this matchup. That outside noise is what I'm talking about as well. With Perry Strong Jr. having 43 rushing yards, leading the team in rushing. Amari Cooper led the team in receiving, who, by the way, might I add, literally at the time of recording this video, I opened up ESPN to kind of get a break in editing and stuff like that. He has been traded to the Buffalo Bills. I'll get my thoughts on that at the end of this video, but he's been traded to the Bills, and the Bills get another weapon for Josh Allen as well, with him leading the receiving corps with 42 yards on the day, and then kicker Dustin Hopkins kicking 10 of those points as well. However, on the Eagles side of things, Jalen Hurts, 16 of 25, 264 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 interception, and a really solid day for the former Alabama-Oklahoma quarterback, as well as A.J. Brown caught a touchdown, leading the team in receiving with 116 yards, and Devonta Smith also catching 1 touchdown. And it was the kicker, J.K. Elliott, who had 8 points on the day as well. So, Eagles getting the job done against a struggling Browns team. Don't know if that saves Nick Sirianni's job yet. However, they get the win regardless at home. Up next, you have the Chargers going into Denver. I had Denver winning this game, and that was definitely not the case. Let's start with the box score here. Bo Nix, 18 of 33, 216 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. They started to come back there at the end, but by then it was too little too late. They got absolutely blown out in the first 3 quarters of the game. However, I did see that John Harbaugh did go to the medical tent. Hopefully, it's nothing too serious. He can come back and perform well for that, or coach this team for the San Diego Chargers. No, Los Angeles Chargers. I don't know what I'm thinking right now. But hopefully he can come back with this team as well. However, Bo Nix led the team in rushing with the Broncos. However, it was Vale who had led the team in yardage with 78 yards receiving for the Broncos. 1 touchdown for Cortland Sutton. 1 touchdown for Tony Franklin. And then it was the kicker, Will Lutz, who had 4 points for the Broncos as well. I don't know why I'm struggling so much with this game. But Justin Herbert was 21 of 34, 237 yards, 1 touchdown, 0 interceptions. J.K. Dobbins had a rushing touchdown, led the team in yardage with 96 yards. And then, of course, Vangdahl had 1 touchdown on the day as well. Ladd McConkey, 43 yards. And Ferranco, 44 yards. Where in the world was Quentin Johnson on this game, though? That is my question on that one. Did he just not want to get the ball to him? However, it was Cameron Dicker who had 11 points, 41. I don't know where I got that from. It was Cameron Dicker who had 11 points, 11 for the kicker as they get the job done on the road in Denver. Up next, you have the Raiders getting blown out by the Pittsburgh Steelers. By the way, Steelers have now named Russell Wilson the starting quarterback, as it looks like he is taking reps with the ones in practice now. However, let's react to this box score. Aiden O'Connell was 27 of 40, 227 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. By the way, earlier today, Devontae Adams being traded to the Raiders, so he is now with the Jets as well, from the Raiders to the Jets, as the Jets get themselves a weapon there. Alexander Madison had 1 touchdown, led the team in rushing with 33 yards. However, Christian Wilkinson, I believe, had 1 touchdown on the day as well, but it was Brock Bowers that led the team, and yardage was 71 yards. Daniel Carlson only kicking 1 point for the Raiders as well. Justin Fields, on the other hand, 14 of 24, 145 yards, 0 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Najee Harris, 1 touchdown on the day, led the team in yardage with 106 yards. An absolute dog in fantasy for me this week, that is for sure. One of the only bright spots for me in fantasy. Justin Fields also 2 rushing touchdowns on the day, as the kicker Chris Boswell kicked 14 of those points, and the Steelers get the job done and are now 4-2 on the year as well, with the win against the Raiders. Next game up, you had the Carolina Panthers hosting the Atlanta Falcons. I will say, before I start this game reaction, I am proud of the way those guys played out there on Sunday. They gave it their all. However, I think it was the Falcons just had the better players and the better skill players. Let's react to this game, though. Andy Dalton, 26 of 38, 221 yards, 2 touchdowns. Did have those 2 interceptions, which ultimately did end up being one of the factors in this game. Chuba Hubbard, 92 yards, no touchdowns rushing, but it was Deontay Johnson that led the team in receiving for the Carolina Panthers, as they had 78 yards on the day. 1 touchdown as well. 1 touchdown from Xavier Legette, who looks like a freaking dog right now for the Carolina Panthers. I hope we can develop him I guess you would say develop him very good throughout his time in the NFL. Eddie Pinheiro, 8 points as well, as that wrapped up the scoring for the Panthers. Kirk Cousins, on the other hand, 19 of 30, 225 yards, 1 touchdown on the day for him. Tyler Algier had 1 touchdown, Bijan with 2, but it was Tyler who led the team in yardage with 105. Now, with that said, Drake London had a touchdown on the day, led the team in receiving with 75 yards on the day. Kyle Pitts, 70 yards, and it was the kicker, Younghoe Koo, who got the job done with 12 of those points for the Falcons, as well as the Falcons get the win to go to 4-2 on the year as well. Up next, I don't even want to talk about this game, but I guess we kind of have to. The Dallas Cowboys getting absolutely belittled by the Detroit Lions in this matchup. Dak Prescott struggled, 17 of 33, 178 yards, 2 interceptions on the day, 0 touchdowns. Cooper Rush got in the game, 8 for 11, did throw another interception as well. However, Rico Dowdle was really the only bright spot when it comes to rushing with 25 yards. That kid is going to be really good in the NFL, trust me on that one. CeeDee Lamb, 89 yards, Jalen Tolbert, 43 yards, and Brandon Aubrey only accounting for 9 of the points when they scored all 9 as well. Now let's look at the Lions side of things and Jared Goff, 18 of 25. They were out for revenge after last year, that is for sure. 315 yards, 3 touchdowns on the day for him. David Montgomery had 2 touchdowns on the day, 80 yards, 12 carries of him rushing-wise. Then it was Jameson Williams who had a receiving touchdown. Sam Laporta who had a receiving touchdown. Amon St. Brown had a receiving touchdown. He was just getting the ball to his playmakers, and Jake Bates had 17 of those points. Not our day for Cowboys fans, that is for sure. Defense has got to get better, and Dak got to stop turning the ball over as well. Final game on Sunday, you of course had Sunday Night Football. The Bengals going into the Giants. Was not able to watch this game because I just didn't really want to watch this game. This was a snooze fest, that's for sure. Daniel Jones, 22 of 41, 205 yards, 1 interception on the day. It was Tyrone Tracy who had the 1 touchdown, 1 bright spot for the New York Giants as well. Looking at the Bengals side of things, I did see Joe Burrow's rush touchdown, which was actually pretty cool to watch. 19 of 28, 208 yards, 0 touchdowns, 0 interception. Joe, 55 yards rushing with 1 touchdown on the day as well. Chase Brown had a rushing touchdown. And then, of course, T. Higgins led the team in receiving with 77 yards. And it was the kicker, Evan McPherson, kicking 5 of those points for the Cincinnati Bengals as they get the job done against a very boring Giants team to watch right now as the Bengals are cruising to 2-4 on the year. Moving on to our final game of the week, we had the Jets hosting the Buffalo Bills. Officiating was absolutely terrible in this game. I did watch this game. That officiating referee crew has got to be looked into for the NFL as well. However, both teams completing trades today as Amari Cooper has been sent to the Bills, which I'll talk about the Bills here in a second. But I do want to give my thoughts on the Devontae Adams trade to the Jets. So here goes nothing. Guys, I mean, it was pretty obvious what was going to happen with the Jets. Aaron Rodgers wanted Devontae Adams. Devontae Adams wanted to go to New York. They made that deal happen, and it is what it is. That's the reality that we live in. Anything can happen, and let's go ahead and react to this game for the Jets. 23 of 35, 294 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception on the day for Aaron Rodgers. That Hail Mary pass was a pretty really good ball thrown by Aaron Rodgers as well. Breece Hall, 113 yards, big day for him as well, but 0 touchdowns on the day. Almost had a touchdown. However, he was down at the 2-yard line, that's for sure. Allen Lazard led the team in receiving with 114 yards, 1 touchdown on the day. Garrett Wilson, 107 yards, 1 touchdown on the day for him as well. And then the kicker, Greg Zuerlein, kicking 8 of those points as well. Looking over at the Bills side of things, Josh Allen gets himself a new weapon, first of all. Let's talk about Amari Cooper being traded to the Buffalo Bills. That one was very surprising for me. I didn't really know how to react to it, but Josh Allen's getting another weapon. Maybe he can teach Keon Coleman a thing or two, kind of develop him, and get acclimated more to the NFL as well. However, let's react to the box score now. Josh Allen, 19 of 25, 215 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Really solid day throwing the rock for the Buffalo Bills as well. Ray Davis, 97 rush yards. Josh Allen did have a rushing touchdown on the day as well. And then the receiving touchdowns went to Dawson Knox and Mike Hollins. But Ray Davis led the team with yardage with 55 as well. And then the kicker, Tyler Bass, kicking 5 points as the Bills get the win against the New York Jets. And improve their record to 4-2 with the newly added wide receiver in Amari Cooper. Of course, that is where I'm going to leave it for today's third and final video of the day. If you have not already, be sure to drop a like, subscribe, turn that bell on. We do our best to post on this channel every single day. With that said, I'm going to hop off, get this edited so you guys can watch it on time. Have a great rest of your day. Troy at South, tonight. Going to be a fun one here. Battle for the Belt in Mobile, Alabama. If you can come out, please do. If not, tune in to ESPN2. That game will be on. It should be a fun one as well. Playoff baseball also on tonight as game number 2, I believe, kicks off in the ALCS tonight. With that said, thank you all so much for watching. Enjoy baseball, enjoy football, and as always, I will see you in the next video. Peace.